Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this joint committee meeting of Government Operations and Fiscal Policy and Transportation and Environment. This morning we have one item on our agenda. It is supplemental appropriation 24-25 to the FY24 operating budget. This appropriation is to help implement the Safe Streets Act of 2023. And as you'll see in the packet, there is a request for $106,000 for Safe Routes to School infrastructure reviews and $1.5 million in one-time costs for implementing changes to existing county-owned traffic signals, including the purchases and installation of additional no turn on red signage and contractual costs related to retiming signals for lead pedestrian intervals. And so with that today, I want to thank everyone and Mr. Kenny for putting together the packet. And I just want to say in opening remarks to, again, thank everyone for the passage of the Safe Streets Act in 2023. I think the events last week in Riverdale, unfortunately, of the two students who were hit, just emphasizes the importance of doing this work and making sure that we do it in a way that prevents crashes and the unfortunate deaths of the young people that we saw right before the Thanksgiving holiday. Before I turn it over to Mr. Kenny, I want to ask if the co-chair, Council President Glass, would like to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair. This is the first time that the T&E Committee is meeting with the Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee to talk about county executives' supplemental appropriation. And so I know that the GO Committee has had a number of other work sessions and hearings on other supplementals, but I'm glad that this is our first conversation, and I'm delighted that the county executive has moved so swiftly after the passage of the Safe Streets Act to make sure that it is implemented and it has the money behind the motivation to make sure that our streets are safe for everybody. And so I'm looking forward to this conversation to see how dollars are allocated to make sure that our streets are safe. And so thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other opening remarks from other council members? No? And I will note that Councilmember Balcom is on Zoom with us today. All right, Mr. Kenny, do you want to walk us through this?
Sure. It's pretty simple. I don't have a whole lot for you, but this is a supplemental appropriation that came over from the county executive on September 27th. In total, it has a fiscal impact of $1,606,000. For this fiscal year. The vast majority of that, $1.5 million, is one-time costs for changing existing county-owned traffic signals, purchasing and installing no turn on red signage, and contractual costs related to retiming signals for lead pedestrian interval. The fiscal impact for future years is fairly minimal. We project an annualized cost of $212,000 per year beginning in FY25. That is related to the Safe Routes to School infrastructure reviews, which will be ongoing in a level of effort. That's all I have.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah,
Council President.
I do. Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Kenny, thank you for this information. I'm just curious, within the breakdown that we have, there's the $1.5 million for implementing the changes, which is essentially adding the no turn on red signs and others. And then there's an additional nearly $600,000, or actually $106,000 for the infrastructure reviews. Do you know, has MCDOT, and I see Mr. Holland here, I don't know if he maybe wants to come up, if he's prepared to provide some information about the breakdown there, just trying to figure out $1.5 million for new signage. Can you break that down a little bit more? And then also with the $106,000 for the infrastructure reviews, how many reviews might that be able to fund?
Yeah, so we have, like I said, there's kind of two buckets. There's the first bucket, which is the $1.5 million. That kind of covers a lot of the signal work. When we met with the T&E committee, we were working through the bill. We expected about 156 signalized intersections. We've been continuing to work on and identify there's other locations that are applicable, especially with the expansions to schools and parks. It's more north of 200 signalized intersections, so that $1.5 million will hopefully get us to all 100,000, but we believe at least it'll cover the remainder of this fiscal year and be encumbered into FY25. And then obviously it'll get us to a point where within fiscal year 25, we'll have a good idea of how many signals we can get through as we start moving through this process. So that 1.5 covers, like as was mentioned, the installation of new signage and the retiming of the signals, largely through contractual extra contractors to help do that work. And then the $160,000-ish for the Safe Routes.
All right, we are ready to go. We're back again. Apologies for those who are watching. Mr. Holland, if you want to review and talk to us about the breakdown of the intersections and the work on the re-signaling and the signage.
Yeah, to go back to that. So then initially when we worked with the GEO committee, we identified about 156 signalized intersections that would be required to be reviewed and adding the no turn on red signage, as well as adding the leading pedestrian intervals, which is adding 3 to 7 seconds additionally before the cars can enter the intersection. So we'll review those. We're looking north, actually, after we've done the further reviews. We keep going deeper into the data, looking more at some of the expansions in the bill that were added at the last county council session. We're looking north of 200 signalized intersections, give or take. And then some of these intersections may already have no turn on red, but we still have to review. And some of them may have like partial where maybe the side roads have no turn on reds. We still would have to add the signs to the main route. Those all have to be looked at. So that 1.5 million largely allows MCDOT to have contractual support to, one, pay to get the signs installed, which also includes the maintenance of traffic to get the signs up and on the poles, as well as contractual support to help do all the retimings, because that could be, if we use it with existing staff, we're looking at a potentially 5 to 10 year cycle. This allows us to really accelerate that cycle to a couple of years. So that's the 1.5 million for the signal work. Then the $168,000 for the remainder of this fiscal year is to start the reviews for the Safe Routes to School piece. We assumed potentially 80 reviews each calendar year. That may be a little bit high depending on once we get down and look at the crash reports and say, yes, it's related to a student going to or from school or a parent going to or from school. Some of those may get filtered out as we go deeper in. But at the planning level, we expect about 80 reviews a year. And so the supplemental there is to help augment existing staff to do those reviews.
Very helpful. Thank you for breaking that all down. As I noted a few minutes ago, thank you for having this supplemental ready to further implement as quickly as possible this legislation, and look forward to continuing to work with you and all our colleagues to get this done. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Great, thank you. Before I go to Councilmember Balcom, just as a follow-up question, Mr. Holland, how quickly do you think the work can begin?
So we've started some of the work already just in terms of the planning behind it. So we've been working on getting systems ready for the Safe Routes to School reviews, making sure we have a systematic way of getting police data from MCPD into MCDOT that secures the data, hides potentially sensitive information or personally identifiable information. Working on that with the IT teams in both departments as well as TEBS to get some sort of system in place so we can systematically track and make sure we meet all the deadlines. So that's working on. So we're looking at largely getting these things online, hopefully by the beginning of the new year. Obviously, contractual. Sometimes getting things, the money you can't get out as fast as we can get it into the system. But our goal is once we get the funds into the system, we can start the procurement and contracting process immediately.
Excellent. Councilmember Balcom.
Thank you, and I agree with my colleagues. Thank you for getting this moved so quickly. The question I have, so we currently know where all of the no write-down reds are going to be, and so you have that information now?
Yes, so we have a kind of high-level assessment of where we believe the law requires these reviews. So we said it's between close to about 200 signalized intersections. We'll have a field team go out and actually assess all of them to say, is there existing signage? Is it existing leading pedestrian intervals? Is it partially implemented? Like I said, if there's no turn on red, maybe on one leg, but not on all legs. So we'll have those field reviews that will help us really assess, or maybe there's a no turn on red sign that needs to be replaced. You would also do that assessment to start.
Okay, thank you. And then all of this work may not be done by the end of this fiscal year, so you would just encumber it for the following year to finish it up?
Yeah, the idea was to hopefully, at least for the signal part of the supplemental, to use that money for this fiscal year and going into fiscal year 25, using the encumbered amounts for the contractors. And then basically, once we get through to 25, we get ready for the fiscal year 26 budget. We'll have a good idea of what's been done and how much it's been costing us based on comparing our planning level estimates to when we get in the field, how much it's actually costing us, and whether or not we'll have to come back for additional funding to finish the project, or if it can be done within existing funds during the fiscal year 26 budget deliberations.
Okay, thank you. And then for the audits, the amount requested for this year and the annualized amount, that's just to do the audit. It doesn't include any physical changes to the intersections. Is that correct?
That is correct. This is just to go out and do the audits. There'd be a much higher number to do all of the, I can give you that number, but it's a lot of zeros behind it.
Sure, and that will depend on what needs to happen. And I'm assuming that once these audits once you do the audits and look at what physical changes need to be made to the intersections, will those changes be absorbed in existing budgets, and then you'll ask for supplementals as you go along? Or how will that funding be included in DOT's budget?
Well, I don't want to speak for DOT's budgets since they're not here and they can't kick me under the table. But in general, just to kind of talk about how we do our Safe Routes to School walk audits currently, we have kind of when we do the audit, we do a short-term, medium-term, and long-term fixes we like to see in the school watershed. So short-term, usually we can do those pretty quickly, maybe signage, marking, things we can do within existing resources. But if there's a recommendation that's more medium to long-term, then it's got to be scheduled. So we kind of just go in the queue of projects. So if it's a new sidewalk project, we'd have to go into the queue. If it's a signal project, we'd have to go into the queue and just kind of get, when time and resources are available, just kind of come through the queues that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Katz?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. It says on here that it must install in all county and government-owned. Do any of the municipalities own their own traffic signals?
Yes, so if you're in City of Rockville, if you're at like East Middle Lane, like where the Starbucks is, like that's a municipally controlled intersection.
And would you be assessing any of that as well?
We would not be assessing those because we don't own or maintain those signals.
I believe we probably should be in contact with the municipalities to let them know we're doing this and to see whether they would assess it to make certain. I mean, if it's unsafe, it's unsafe regardless of who owns the traffic signal. So if we could do that, please.
Yeah, and that's actually a good segue. We're actually reaching out to municipalities as well for the Safe Routes to School reviews because we are required to do a referral to that. So if we find a crash that's in the Rockville School watershed, it's on a municipal road, we'll refer that crash to the municipality. So we're also working on developing some reporting systems to like City of Gaithersburg, City of Rockville, Tacoma Park.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Council President Glass?
Appreciate Council Member Katz for mentioning the municipalities, and appreciate Mr. Holland for stating that that work is ongoing or continuing. And as he alluded to Delegate Julie Polakovich-Carr has introduced this bill at the state level, and so clearly we'll have, if all works well in Annapolis, we will have this conversation with Maryland Department of Transportation and other agencies, but definitely coordination is really important. So thank you for raising that.
Great. And I'll just, following up on the Safe Routes to School, I think one of the things that is an outgrowth of the Safe Streets Act, and thank you, Council President Glass, for moving that forward, is I think more in-depth conversations with MCPS regarding the safe routes to school. And I know Council Member Sidney Katz chaired a public safety committee where we talked to folks there. And one of the things that we really emphasized is greater community engagement as the safe routes to schools paths were being developed, so that people really understood what went into that. And I know we're talking about the supplemental today, but I feel like it's all connected in terms of how we're moving forward with that collaboration with MCPS.
Yeah, so we drafted an MOU, and it's now with MCPS. We have a meeting, I think, later this month to continue to review that. Obviously, kind of have an agreement and have the lawyers look at it and make sure it's all good, but that will help for the Safe Routes to School reviews. There's also some of the bus stop safety reviews. That MOU will help kind of clarify whose role is what, and also like the communication lines, they can stay open, because obviously when personnel change, it'll allow, the MOU will allow to keep those relationships going.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Holland. Any other questions? No, not seeing any. All those in favor of recommending approval of the supplemental to the full council, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. And we are done with this joint session of the Government Operations and Fiscal Policy and Transportation and Environment Committees. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you back here later. Thank you, Mr. Holland. Thank you, Mr. Kenny.